Before I start, I want to ask you to hit that subscribe button if you love real, raw stories like this, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd really like to hear what you think. It happened on a Friday night. We were at a mutual friend's birthday party. A small gathering, nothing extravagant. I remember walking into the room, feeling excited to see her laugh, to hold her hand, and hear her voice in the warmth of familiar faces. But the moment I spotted her, something inside me twisted. She was across the room, leaning close to another man. His arm rested casually around her chair, his laughter loud and unguarded. And she laughed too. Not a simple, friendly chuckle, but that tilt of the head, that sparkle in her eyes, the way her smile lingered longer than it ever did for me. She ignored me completely. Not a glance, not a nod. She didn't just overlook me. She erased me from that room. I froze. The sudden weight in my chest felt physical, pressing down so hard I could barely breathe. Part of me wanted to storm over, confront her, demand an explanation. But another part stayed silent. I didn't move. I let the moment pass, hoping I was seeing things wrong, imagining the intimacy where none existed. After the party, her behavior grew stranger. Missed calls that turned into hours of silence, texts that she deleted as soon as I looked, excuses that felt rehearsed. She said she was just busy, tired from work, friends needing her. But the look in her eyes when she said it, the fleeting guilt quickly masked by a practiced smile, kept me awake at night. I started questioning myself first. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I was being jealous. Maybe I was imagining the signs of betrayal in harmless interactions. But then came the small, undeniable cracks. The phone she left face down on the counter when she went to the bathroom. The sudden laughter from a text message she didn't want me to see. The way she shifted whenever I walked into the room. One evening I was doing the dishes when I noticed her tablet on the living room couch. Notifications blinking. My hands shook, my heart raced. I hesitated, almost turning away, but curiosity, and the gnawing need for truth, won. And there it was, messages between her and him. Not casual. Not professional. Flirty. Intimate. They joked, they teased, they made plans. The words on the screen hit me like a physical blow. I remember sinking onto the couch, the tablet still in my hands, staring at the ceiling as reality settled around me. Every shared laugh, every whispered promise, every late-night conversation we'd had, suddenly felt like a lie. Memories stung in ways I couldn't have imagined. The scent of her hair, the way she used to hold my hand, the warmth of her touch. It was all tainted now, echoes of trust broken. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I simply watched, listened, and tried to reconcile the woman I loved with the woman I had discovered. For days I replayed every moment, every smile, every subtle shift in behavior I'd ignored. I questioned myself, my judgment, my memory. Had I missed the signs? Was I blind for so long? When I finally spoke, it was quiet. We sat across from each other at the kitchen table, the morning sun filtering through the blinds, casting long shadows across the room. I know, I said, my voice low, steady. I know about him. Her eyes filled with tears, but there was no pleading, no excuses. Just a quiet acknowledgement of what she had done. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered. It started as nothing, just harmless flirting. I didn't realize. You didn't realize? I repeated, my chest tightening. You didn't realize that you were erasing me? That you were laughing with him while I existed in the same room? She looked down, silent, tears sliding down her cheeks. I never wanted to hurt you. The truth was she had. Every moment, every choice, every secret laugh was a wound carved into my life. And yet there was no villain here. No monstrous betrayal from a stranger. Just flawed people, desires mismanaged, trust broken. I spent the next weeks in a quiet turmoil. I revisited old memories, our first date, the lazy Sunday mornings, the way she used to fall asleep beside me. Each recollection stung differently, a mixture of love and heartbreak, of longing and betrayal. I realized that my grief wasn't just for what had been lost, but for the illusion I had believed in, the safe, invincible world we had built together, now irrevocably fractured. Eventually, I made the choice that saved me. I didn't yell, I didn't chase, I didn't beg. I packed my things, took the keys, and walked away. The apartment smelled faintly of her perfume, a reminder of what once was. I left quietly, leaving her to confront her choices and me to reclaim my life. The first days were heavy. I felt the weight of loneliness, the sting of betrayal, and the ghost of her laughter that once felt like home. But slowly breathing became easier. Time, reflection, and self-respect began to heal the wound. I remembered who I was outside of her, what I deserved, and that love should never erase your own worth. Sometimes memories sneak in, the way she used to laugh, the sparkle in her eyes, the warmth of her hand. But they no longer wound the same way. Now they remind me that survival, dignity, and quiet strength are victories in themselves. If there's one thing I want you to take from my story, it's this: betrayal can happen silently, in laughter, in glances, in unnoticed moments. But your self-worth, your courage, and your strength are louder than any act of deception. Walk away if you must. Love yourself enough to leave what breaks you. And remember, even in heartbreak, there is clarity, resilience, and the power to rebuild. Because sometimes staying silent in the moment doesn't mean weakness. It means you're choosing the moment to understand, to see clearly, and ultimately to reclaim yourself.